Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, welcome back to more Sakura Angels. So, let's get back into this. Emerging onto the roof, I'm thankful to see it's devoid of life. Safely walled by the tall mesh fences, the roof is technically a spot students can spend their breaks at, but it really isn't that popular. Works for me. Okay, now can you guys explain this whole mess? I release both of their wrists simultaneously. Sayaka bounces happily, completely unbothered, while Hikari, on the other hand, rubs at her wrist as if I assaulted her. What the heck are they even... Oops. I shake my head. This isn't a confession. You know full well what this is about. I can feel my face burning up. It really is exhausting dealing with them. Sayaka gives me a teasing smile before bursting into a giggle. Apparently this is the funniest thing in the world to her. Thank you. I let out a sigh, my shoulders drooping. Finally. Finally! Who exactly are you guys? Okay, this should be an obvious one to ask. I asked it before, but only got a vague answer of them being my supposed guardian angels. I'm hoping she feels more generous now. Right now, though. I might actually rip my hair out here. I open my mouth to once more say that she knows damn well that's not what I mean. But it seems she's way ahead of me. Oh, great! They are already bending the rules by showing themselves to me, but one of them pretty much wants to save me, aka Sayaka, and one of them wants to murder me, like Hikari. Great. Hey, it's not my fault. I think. Okay. The realization of what she says slowly dawns on her. It was quite fun to watch her usually grumpy face gradually go red before she stomps in a fluster. Oh my gosh, that was... Okay, that was a good moment. That was good. Sayaka giggles and gives her a playful punch to the shoulder. Hikari responds in kind by giving her a wallop to the shoulder with nothing playful about it. Are these two even partners? Anyway, I try my best to keep things on track. though I'm sure it won't be long before it devolves into violence again. Do you belong to some sort of group? Wait, are there more of you with these weird powers? She rubs at the back of her head with a grin that pretty much says, "Whoops!" I probably won't be able to get any more out of her on this subject. For today, at least. Maybe if I catch her off guard another day, she might let more slip out. What was that monster? I want to know more about what the heck that thing was that they saved me from earlier. A shadow, I think she called it. I'm guessing there are more of those things looking out there. And they're after me? She falls into thought, leaving Hikari and I to stand awkwardly, exchanging even more awkward glances. Sayaka? She snaps out of her stupor, blinking back into reality. What the heck did I do to annoy these monsters anyway? Who I am? Sayaka is cut off by an ear-piercing cry from Hikari. Ow. I guess I'll never know now. Hikari seems adamant about keeping this a secret. Yeah, Hikari kinda is no fun. Okay. She gives me an apologetic look. She really sounds sincere, too. Like, she's practically bursting to tell me, but just can't. No use pressing it, I suppose. Maybe one day. How long are you going to stay here? This is an important one. Just exactly how long do they plan on staying here to, watch over me? Sayaka pulls a frown at my question, a genuinely sad-looking one that tugs at my heartstrings. Was it really that bad? Damn it! Why does she have to phrase it like that? That's clearly not what I meant, I think. It's just, as long as they're here, I'm sure there's going to be nothing but trouble in my life. Now come on, I didn't mean it like... She suddenly bursts into a bright, beaming smile again, almost blinding me. Wow, Sayaka! Okay. This girl. She breaks into a laugh. One I'm sure can be heard by the entire school from all the way up here. I guess you can't tell me what needs to be sorted out. She puts a finger to her nose and winks. I thought so. Well, she said that without her smile faltering one bit. Her tone just as cheery despite the biting words. That's kinda scary. Even Hikari has no argument against that. Those words caused her to fall silent as she shrinks back from her deceptively bright partner. Moving on. That's all for now. I guess that's all we have time for now. I think the bell for the second half is about to... Yep, there it is. She stretches her arms into the air, giving a small yawn. Something like that. Sayaka bounced for the stairs as if we were in some sort of race, her partner trailing behind as she gives me one last look. She stops, her eyes cast downward for a moment before flickering back up. What's up? Okay. And like that, she disappears down the stairs too, leaving me alone on the roof. Huh. I wonder what that was about. I guess I should follow after them. I don't want to be late again. As I start for the stairs, my stomach makes a terrifying sound. One that screams for food. Oh right, in all my haste to figure out what the girls were doing, I neglected to get any lunch at all. Aww. And so classes resume. After all the initial excitement in the morning, not a lot happens throughout the remaining lessons. They drag on at a glacial pace, somehow even more dull than usual. It's also hard to keep my mind focused on anything with Sayaka and Hikari on each side. They're there to protect me. I was half expecting a monster to just burst its way through the window and for the whole place to just turn into a battleground. Though, it might have at least made things more lively. With one final ring of the bell, school comes to a close, a hasty amber glow taking over the classroom as the sun begins to set. The majority of the students begin to flitter out of the class to start their clubs or part-time jobs. Not me though, I'm off home. While joining the club is certainly encouraging, thankfully this isn't a place where it's enforced. Meaning I'm free to loaf all I want. It might make me come across as a bit of a slacker in the eyes of the other students, but meh, they're not exactly wrong. Wasting no time, I set out of the school and begin to head home. Something that should have been fairly stress-free, but... I mean, I should have expected this, but it's still a bit much. The horizon grows darker with each step I make through the quiet streets, a pale moon slowly making its presence known in the sky. Thud, thud, thud. My heavy steps resound down the narrow road, quickly swallowed into the night. But there's also another set of steps, or rather 2 sets of steps, that sound to either side of me. Far lighter steps with far more grace than I could ever hope to achieve. Look, I know you're here to protect me, but do you really need to be so, close? Yes, those steps belong to none other than my self-professed guardian angels. Sayaka to my left, and Hikari to my right. They practically walk in unison with me, their shoulders inches away from mine. Yikes. She doesn't have to yell so loud right into my ear like that. I think I must be just a little bit deferred from spending time with her today alone. Another and a turn of her head, her vibrant hair swaying gently. Right. Sorry. As she walks, Sayaka leans across me to smirk at Hikari. This is getting really awkward, guys. My left ear is rocked by a mischievous giggle as Sayaka breaks into hysterics. All the while, Hikari's face begins to turn into an interesting shade of red. Huh? She was doing that? Now that she mentions it, the left side did feel cozier for a time. Okay! Without warning, she latches onto my arm, pulling herself in and almost sending me toppling to the ground. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Hey now! This is... Oh god, Hikari, are you going to as well? Hikari latches onto my other arm, hooking it with hers in an attempt to tug me away from Sayaka. What the heck did this turn into? Girls, you don't really need to... Sayaka pulls back on my arm, and soon they both have a firm grip of each of my arms. Determination across their faces as I become some sort of a human rope. Okay, I see this in a lot of anime, but why would guardian angels do this? What is this, tug of war? They're going to rip me apart. Do they even remember what they're trying to do? What started innocently enough, it has now spurred into some sort of contest between them. They really are competitive. Ow! Now's not the time to think about stuff like that. Can you please get off of me? Raising my voice more than I've ever done in a while, I explode, my body at stake here. And like that, they both let go of my arms at once, leaving me free to ensure they're both still fully intact. I'm glad they listened to reason. I really thought I was going to die there. Apparently, it's not the monsters I have to worry about, it's these two. Girls? At least, I had thought it was my desperate cry that had gotten through to them. But they seemed completely transfixed by something up above. What are they looking at? I squinted my eyes and gaze high above the rooftops. And then, as the clouds part and the pale moonlight shines down, I see her. Hi there! A girl sits on the ledge of the highest point of one of the tallest buildings in the area. Silvery hair that seems to glimmer in the moonlight, and an outfit as dark as the night sky. She gives off an awe-inspiring look, almost angel-like. Like she's some sort of angel gazing down from the heavens. At least, I would call her an angel if it wasn't for that unsettling grin that's just now spread across her face at the sight of us. She murmurs something to herself that I can't make out at all from the distance between us. Whatever it was she said, it was enough to make her shoulders shake with laughter. I can't help but feel that like I've seen her somewhere before. I wonder why that is. No matter how hard I think back, I can't recall her face at all, though. Maybe she's on the cover of the box art, stupid. I mean, no fourth wall breaks in this. Never mind. In a burst of feathers, obsidian wings unfurl from behind her. Now, those definitely aren't holy. I've got a bad feeling about this. Amber eyes peered down at the three of us, narrowed in determination as the same unsettling grin remains. It might be just my imagination, but I think she's looking at me specifically. I can almost feel her stare. It's enough to send a chill down my spine and sparks a faint pulse at the back of my skull. A friend of yours? I force out a laugh, though I know the truth. The air is growing tense, like that time with the monster before. And the looks on both Hikari's and Sayaka's faces can only suggest something bad is about to go down. But, okay. I do as I'm told and retreat back a good distance. Not really wanting to argue when they look as scary as they do. Silver-haired girl, still high atop the roof, gives me one last look before her eyes gaze to the girls. Then she jumps. What? Why did she jump? I can barely watch. She plummets downward towards where my guardian stood, no hint of even beginning to slow down. Are those wings just for show? Faster and faster she descends, before finally the pavement closes in. I don't want to watch, but somehow I get the feeling she wouldn't have jumped without a good reason. At least, I hope she didn't. Mere inches from smashing into the ground, her wings spread wide as if brakes, before bringing her to a sudden stop. Not even a gradual halt. She just comes to a complete grinding halt, as if the laws of gravity don't apply to her. Even with wings, something like that shouldn't be possible. I mean, if a pigeon were to attempt something like that, they'd barely be recognizable on the pavement right now. In fact, her feet aren't even touching the ground. She hovers above ever so slightly before stepping onto the solid surface, as if stepping off of an invisible platform. Part of me is relieved that she isn't hurt from that little stunt, but then part of me is also terrified to what might happen next. The silver-haired girl stands before Hikari and Sayaka, her expression still as unsettling as ever. Despite the smile, though, there's nothing in her posture that would suggest she has any bad intentions, yet the other two girls are tense. My head rings just trying to focus on her, like that monster from before. Is she related to them? I clutch my hand to my head and try to steady myself. It's taking all my willpower just to keep upright at the moment. She greets them so casually, despite the intense glares directed her way. Somehow, I get the feeling she didn't leap off a freaking roof just to exchange pleasantries. She lets out a devious giggle, doing little to ease the tension in the air. Yuzuki? Her eyes flit from the girls and settle straight onto me, her smile enough to send a chill down my spine. Huh? I knew it. Of course she would be linked to this whole mess. Wouldn't she be? Today is the day where everything apparently wants me dead. Sayaka and Hikari refuse to comply. I mean, of course they wouldn't. They wouldn't be very good guardian angels if they had just stepped aside for this maniacal girl. The pair stand tall before me, their fists tightened. And this is where I think we should end it off. Suspense! My name is Psychic Pictures! So, we've met the new character. Yuzuki, I think it was. And we learned a tiny bit more about what was going on. And I have a new item in my inventory. Yay! So, with all that said and done, this has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time for more Sakura Angels.